Good afternoon. I'm Pastor Margie Gonzalez, the chaplain here at Heal the City, and I just want to bring you another Take 5 segment. Today I want to read out of Psalm 76, verse 26. It says, "My health may fail and my spirit may grow weak, but God remains the strength of my heart. He is mine forever." Difficult times, difficult seasons, illnesses, and so many other things can drain us and leave us worn out, and they can leave us feeling helpless and hopeless. But if you will make God the strength of your heart, you can still come out victorious and stronger. And this first part of the verse says, "My health may fail." Can I tell you that in this season, many can relate to this statement. We've all been touched in some way by COVID-19. And if it wasn't COVID-19, maybe we know somebody who's been affected by cancer or some other illness. But either way, we all know that these kinds of illnesses and health issues can not only affect your body, but they almost always have an effect on your mind and your emotions as well. But it doesn't have to be that way. And today I need you to know that if you are willing to make God the strength of your heart, you can still be strong in your inner man, in the inward person. In other words, God's strength can sustain your spirit even if your health is failing. Ephesians 3:16, this is Paul's prayer, and he says, "I pray that from his glorious, unlimited resources, he will empower you with inner strength through his spirit." So I need you to know that we can pray and ask God to strengthen us on the inside, even though the outside may be wasting away. Second part of this verse says, "My spirit may grow weak." As I mentioned, illness and other hard times and difficulties have a way of draining your energy. And that's because we often try to deal with all of these things in our own strength. Problem is that our strength is limited. And so we need to learn to get our strength from God. Again, we need to let God be the strength of our heart. We need to learn to get our help from God. Isaiah 41:13 says, "For I hold you by your right hand. I, the Lord your God. And I say to you, don't be afraid. I am here to help you." And so when you're empty and you have no inner strength whatsoever, you need to know that God is faithful to step in and strengthen you. When Paul was on trial and he's writing to Timothy, he says, "The first time I was brought before the judge, no one came with me. Everyone abandoned me." Then he says, "But the Lord stood with me and gave me strength." So whatever you're facing, if you will allow him, God will come beside you and he will stand with you and strengthen you. The last part of this verse wraps things up and it says, "God remains the strength of my heart. He is mine forever." So the writer of this psalm understands that the strength we need comes from God. Human strength always runs out, but God's strength is always readily available. It's eternal. It's everlasting. It is always there. 2 Corinthians 12:9-11. And again, this is Paul writing, and he says, "The Lord told him, 'My grace is all you need. My power works best in weakness.' And so now I'm glad to boast about my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ can work through me. And that's why I take pleasure in my weaknesses and in the insults and hardships and persecutions and troubles that I suffer for Christ. For when I am weak, then I am strong." See, when we are weak, God's power can step in. So in our weakness, if we will allow God to be the strength of our heart, we will be empowered in the inner man to face whatever we have to in the natural, whatever we have to face in the way of difficulties. And so today I just want to ask you, will you let God be the strength of your heart in the midst of what you're facing? God bless.